Hi, it's me again. Today we're looking at Hanamikoji by Emperor S4 Games. In this game set in old Japan, you'll be running an inn where you're trying to attract these different geisha to come work for you. Some are specialized in music, poetry, dance, hosts, making tea, or other talents, and they'll bring prestige to your inn. How you're going to do this is through clever card play. This uses a mechanism called I split, you choose. I'll show you what that means in just a moment. To start, each player will be dealt 6 cards, and then you'll remove a card from play. You'll set that over there, it'll be shuffled back in later, but it won't be used this round. You'll have these 4 action tokens in front of you, and the round will consist of each player doing these 4 actions. So, how do you win a geisha's favor? You have the majority of cards placed in front of them. For example, if you wanted this one, you would have to have the most 5s placed in front of her. The number also corresponds to how many of those cards there are in the deck. So there's 5 5s, 4 4s, 3 3s, 3 3s, 2 2s, 2 2s, 2 2s, 2 2s, for example. So, for example, let's see what we have here. I have 1 scroll, I have 1 flute, parasol, and 2 of the hair bows. Now you wouldn't normally see this, but let's see what my opponent has. So they have 2 of this instrument, 2 the tea sets, 1 fan, and 1 scroll. So what I would probably do is I would probably take this first action. Now what this first action does is it lets you take a card, place it face down, and then you take this token and place it on top. That's going to be hidden till the end of the round, where I get to spring my trap card on my opponent, and they won't know what's under there until the end of the round. So as of right now, I know that I have 1 5 that's going to be sitting over there to try to get her to work at my inn. After you play cards, some of these have you play more than 1 card. You always just draw 1. Perfect. Now let's go back to our opponent here. Mug. Let's see, Mug actually has a pretty good hand. So, say Mug wants to get rid of... Well, that wouldn't make sense. Let's say Mug wants to do one of these other actions here. Here's one they might do. They might do action number 4, which is make 2 sets, but your opponent gets to pick which set they keep, and you get whatever they don't take. So they might split it up like this. A 3 and a 4, and a 3 and a 4. Because if they split it up 2 4s and 2 3s, then pretty much they know I'm going to take the 4s, which is important. I'll get to that in a minute. So we split them like this. So I would put this 3 in front of her, and this 4 in front of her, and they would do the same. Like that. And then I'm going to leave these face up. And then my opponent would take a card. Now, they got another banjo. It's not really a banjo, I don't remember the name of it. They got another instrument. So that would actually play well into what they are trying to do. So for my turn, I'm going to look here and see... I would probably... Let's see, I got 3... I got 2 3s and 2 2s. I would probably do actually the same exact action, but to make this interesting, I'm not going to do that. I would probably throw these 2 3s and a 5 out there. And I would do this action, which is I get to keep 2 of those cards, and they get to keep 1. So let's say they're like, ooh, a 5, and they would take the 5, and I get these 3s, and so I would place that there. And now, I draw a card. So they've already done this action, and I've done my 1 and 3. So what the other 2 actions are is, this is, you can take 2 cards from your hand and just bury them, and then they're out of the round. And then this one, I'm just going to speed this up. And for this one, you split up into 2 groups, and they take 1 group and you take the other group. So for example, maybe I would go, haha, Yes, there's 2 2s, which means you win that too, but there's this 2 and this 4, which would break this tie. So let's just deal out these cards as if people had played them. This is not exactly how the game would go, but I just want you to get the gist of how it would go. So after everyone has done all of their actions, the deck will be empty, and let's say this is what the board looks like. Get these cards out of the way. And I would spring my trap card. Aha! I had a 5 all along, so that's a tie. So you see these markers in the middle. That's the influence marker. So my opponent has none, so this would slide towards me. No one has anything here, stays in the middle. They have that one, slide towards them. Actually, that would probably do it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. They would have that one. They have one more than me. They would have that one. I have this one. And then no one has either one of these. So, I have influence over 1, 2, and they have influence over 1, 2. So right now, nobody's winning. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these. As soon as someone gains, I believe it's, oh, look at this, rare behind the scenes. Look at me forgetting rules in the middle of a video. Thankfully, that's what rulebooks are for. So as soon as someone has 4 geishas or 11 or more points, the game will end immediately. So that's where points come into play. So let's say I just won 5, 9, and 3, and they had control of all 4 of those, I would still win because I had more points. Or if I won those 3 before they had control of 4, I would win. If nobody's won, you take the cards, the markers remain in the same place, even if it's a tie or a win or whatever, remains in the same place. You shuffle these up, and you keep playing until one of those 2 victory objectives are met. You flip these back over, and you have all of your and you have all of your actions back again for the next round. It's very fun. A lot of tense decisions about how you want to split your hand. What do you want to hide? What do you want to throw away? What do you want your opponent to have? What do you think your opponent has hidden underneath of there? I love this game, and it's small and portable. I've played it in a restaurant before. A ton of fun. Hand me my mochi.